Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow. And in today's episode, I want to talk a little bit more about my progress and my the projects I've done using AI and how I've used that for different things in anime. So, again, I've done different things in the past, including writing an ebook, as well as doing lots of work with rendering pictures and crossing anime and that kind of stuff. And today I just want to do a little bit of an update and show some of the results of some of the things that I've worked on, and just show you what I've been doing with some of these anime renders that I've been doing. Okay, so before I begin, I'd like to remind people to go down below and click like and click subscribe. And is there anything that any comments or that kind of thing that you write down would definitely help the YouTube algorithm. So again, any help that you can do that would be really, really great. If you want to support me financially, I do have the super thanks button as well as the PayPal and Patreon links below. Now again, with the Patreon, I've now making the changes and doing the adjustments so that at any tier that you subscribe to, you have access to all the ebooks and the different variations that I've made of it, including the audiobook version, and now I'm making video versions, like slideshow type versions, available for the audiobooks as well, for those people who don't want to read or just want to have something visually that they can see. Okay, so again, those are available to the Patreon people as well. All right, so in today's episode, I just want to do a little update of some of the different artwork that I've been able to do using different anime techniques. I've also done different things, trying to get a lot into this things of motion and stuff, right? Because people are starting to get into the ability of like we've always had the ability to render pictures and that kind of stuff. That's been around for a while. And so I'm going to show you some of the examples of some of the pictures and that kind of stuff, and some of the concepts that I've been doing. Mixing different art styles together. So what if this person drew like this person, type of thing? Like what would it look like? Or let's take like for example, an iconic character like Chun-Li or Tifa or Deedlit, or just take one of your favorite characters. What happens if you could draw that character with some other artist? Like, what happens if Kenichi Sonoda drew it that way? What happens with, Satoshi Ushihara drew it this way? What happens if, Mashiman Shiro drew it this way? Then, AI could do something like that. And then I have some examples of that kind of thing, which I'll present here. All right. The other thing that I've done with AI is I've used it to help me write an e-book. Okay. Now a lot of people are probably familiar with things like Grammarly. Okay, like try to help make spelling corrections, help fix your grammar, maybe give suggestions to write it a certain way or this way or whatever. But yeah, I've done a lot with that, and I'll probably have to make it a whole episode, of just doing that. But again, I won't make that part of the main line. I'll probably make that as more of an educational kind of sort of an episode, maybe like a review kind of episode. But I'll put that as a side episode, which I'll probably release on Tuesdays instead of on Fridays. All right, so you don't have to worry about that interfering the anime content. Okay, so for example, use that to produce my book, like this. And so I've been doing lots of work trying to find ways to not only change the audio for this, and so it can be read to you, so in case you don't feel like you're actually wanting to read the contents of the book or anything like that. You can actually have somebody the thing read it to you, as well as now producing visuals, both static ones for the slideshow, and now I'm trying to actually make a moving video version of this thing, so I could literally animate this as a hentai. Okay, so again, that's something I'm sort of working on, and I said the technology's not quite there. It's still in the works, and but it's looking promising. So we'll see what happens when they do that. So anyway, I'll show you some examples of what I've done using that as well. Okay, so without further delay, let's get into some of the examples, and I'll explain what I've done to that. Okay. Okay, so in this video, I want to go over some of the um, motion renders that I've worked on. So here I have one of the pictures of Deedlit that I used when modeling things. And of course, this is sort of a mix of what the actual character of Deedlit is with a little bit of Satoshi Ushihara and sort of, mix that sort of together. So basically now what I've done is I've taken the algorithm using Flex and basically uh, had it animate this image just using the one image and make a video from that. And so I basically had the script of get dealer, smiling and casting a spell. And so this is what it rendered, and as I said, it actually works really, really smooth, considering that it actually, was given this particular picture. Okay, so the next example I have here is the character Carol from my ebook. And basically, again, I've used the combination of the Satoshi Ushihara and the Bible Black um, character files and to basically render this particular person. And then again, so now I've got this picture. I want to then send it into the algorithm using Flux and see it rendering a picture. And the picture I prompt I said it says okay, have her brush her hair. Okay, and this is sort of the result I got. Again, very fluid and very very nice animation that can be made from just one picture. Okay, so the next one I'm going to have done is a picture of Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion. And again, I've combined some just regular anime pictures of Asuka as well as live action cosplay of people playing Asuka, and use that and mix that with the Satoshi Ushihara, mix, because again, she's a lot like Tiaris. And so basically take that, and then I basically took this picture and just basically animated her, just her standing with her hair blowing in the wind, sort of prompt. And again, this rendered a very, very nice actually picture because I said, to have it, keep track of all the movement in her hair and all that stuff is actually pretty tough. So it produces a really nice result. Okay, and the last one I wanted to try to go over here for Neon Justice Evangelion is another picture of Asuka. Again, I used the same models and that, and rendered a really nice background for it with the the devastation in the city and all that kind of stuff. And I said, okay, all right, let's take this picture, let's send it through the Flux renderer, and see if what I can do. And basically, the prompt I wanted here is just like can you walk towards me? Like walk towards the viewer, right? So ask, can you walk towards the viewer? And again, so run that to the thing, and it produces this sort of run. So yeah, okay, it obviously used a little bit of creativity and that kind of stuff, and change things. But yeah, definitely, it was a kind of an interesting way in how it rendered, and the fact that I'm sure that when they get the technology to increase the length and all that kind of stuff, more stuff can happen. But I mean, for 5 seconds, it's actually pretty good. Oh, and the last one here I want to do is from a recent video. I did a story about using Stellar Mars and mixing that with the Kimi Takada style of artwork and producing this particular image. And I said, okay, well, let's just try a very simple prompt, and that's just basically let's get Mars to draw a circle with flames, and basically it moves. So I said, okay, well, so this is an example of if you simplify the prompt too much, then the render doesn't work as well. All right, hope you found that really interesting. Again, this is just sort of, what I've managed to do. Just just sort of learning it, like like every other sort of person. I'm not a real big expert on, how to do, things like stable diffusion. I haven't, got a computer nor an install on my end that's really good at doing that kind of stuff. Maybe in the future I'll have to get something so that I can actually get into something really, really detailed like this. But right now the technology is still relatively new, and there's a lot of things that you can still do with it. Let's just see. I'm just just trying to figure out what can I actually do with it, and where it is. So hopefully this will keep you up to date, and also document where we are at and when we're when in the timeline of this creative AI kind of stuff is. I will be doing some more episodes of this, as I produce more, and we could basically be able to show you more of this stuff. Plus, I'll probably also be making a special episode to put onto the Patreon as well, because obviously you can generate a lot of NSFW stuff that can't show here, obviously. So I'll put that onto the Patreon, so that people can have access and look at that stuff as well. Okay, so until next time, I will see you again.